Good day, everyone. It's time to go to the range today, so I thought it was the perfect opportunity for me to tell you a little bit more about what I do when it's time to do some sports shooting. You know I'm an avid competitor. I used to be a Canadian pistol champion. I've dedicated my entire professional life to keep Canadians safe. And I know what I'm talking about. But let's look at this. It's time to go to the range. Let's see what a licensed firearm owner has to do in order to get ready to go shoot. First, I went to get my hidden key for my gun cabinet. Well, hidden because, yeah, I got kids at home and they know where the gun cabinet is. They're extremely safe with firearms. I'm introducing a redundant security system to keep, to add safety for the firearms. So the guns are locked in this huge cabinet. And on top of that, all the firearms in here are trigger locked. Yes, obviously a handgun like this Glock is trigger lock. It is a restricted firearm. And even though it is stored in a locked container, it needs to be trigger locked. Let's contrast that to a non-restricted firearm, which is way bigger and shoots way bigger rounds than a handgun. This example, an SKS. Now, this is a non-restricted firearm, and according to the law, I don't have to lock it up, but I always keep it with trigger locks on. And again, redundant system. My trigger locks are a combination as opposed to keys. So now I put keys and trigger locks into my locking system. But anyways, I'm going to grab a few firearms. I'm going to go get the mags for them somewhere else. And then I'm going to have to go get my ammunition, which is also locked in a different place in my house, but locked away separately. Well, got to get my stuff together. And believe me, there's a lot of stuff before I get to go to the range. It takes me a good 15-20 minutes to get out there. So I'm going to go shoot my SKS today. Essentially, this is the same thing as an AR-15. Semi-automatics, box 5-round mags capacity. This is non-restricted, but in action, there's zero difference between what is being prohibited right now and what is still non-restricted. It just looks a little bit more traditional. So this one's going to go in my favorite case, and this case can actually be locked with a key. For the handguns, however, well, today I'm going to shoot my Glock, and I'm also going to do a little bit of work on my revolver. So I hear you. Okay, Glock, semi-automatic, good. This one's not too far. You should see me shoot with this thing. I'm just as fast on this as with this. And some of you might be thinking right now, oh, wow, this big bad, be hating on the style of the firearm as opposed to a revolver. Well, I got news for you. You know, the people that shoot at each other out in the streets, a lot of them are in Toronto. A lot of them in major cities, but it's not just Toronto has the worst gun crime. There's a lot of other cities that have it way worse than Toronto. Well, they don't often use these things. They've learned that revolvers and such things, well, they don't eject casings. Therefore, harder to trace. So a lot of bad guys out there have some of these. But you know what the bad guys do? They don't put trigger locks on theirs. They don't put their handguns in locked containers. And then, according to the law, locking that container with an additional lock. So lock the container, trigger lock on the gun. No magazine, no ammunition stored in the container. That is stored and secured separately. I do that. I follow the law. Bad guys, however, they just walk out of wherever they live, loaded gun in their pants. You starting to clue in who's the problem here? Just a little side note on sports shooting and hunting. As you can see, my garage is packed full of sporting equipment, right? I got the bikes, we got the hockey nets, I got the kayak up there. What else do I got here? Oh yeah, the golf clubs, man, the ski equipment, the mountaineering stuff, the snowshoes, the stand-up paddle boards, the basketballs, the soccer balls. Okay, it never stops. I've injured myself on all of these sports, but I've never injured myself in sport shooting. Never. It's actually one of the safest sports in Canada. All right, now time for the ammo, which is locked somewhere else in my house. With obviously a key that's, again, hidden somewhere else. But yeah, locked ammo and a lot of accessories are in here too. I'll try to make it as easy as possible, but man, it always takes a long time to get ready to go to the range. Upwards of 15-20 minutes. But, you know, once I'm good to go, fun's on. Just about ready to go, but brings up another good, interesting point. A lot of misled and misguided Canadians believe that, you know, the gun community and the gun culture, gun lobby, which by the way is folks like me. We're not big bad evil people. We're parents, we're friends. It's my uncle, my aunt. It's moms and dads. That's who we are. We don't own guns for personal protection or protection in the home, because in the Canadian Criminal Code, there is no such reservations to or protection for us to use firearms, even legal ones, to protect ourselves. Besides, could you actually imagine seeing the process I have to go through, having to get a firearm? Wait, no, I gotta get a key first. I gotta undo the combination lock, and then I gotta say, oh, my ammo and my mags aren't even here. They're locked in somewhere else. So I gotta go in a different room, go get my ammo, load the ammo, load it in the gun, and then finally I can probably confront the bad guys. Does that make any sense to you? Don't be misguided by misinformation that is sourced from what the US can do. The US has a completely different set of rules that we do. And even it is different in every state. In Canada, it's a uniform set of rules. And it's very effective gun control.